Alright. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Hi. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm finally back online after taking a few days off. And I'm going to do Daytona. Daytona 1995. And I was here. I was here in real life. And let me just make sure I'm not going to hang any animals with my cords. You hear Stella drinking water. But anyway, Dad was with a little unknown team. They didn't make the field, but it was one of those situations where there wasn't a lot of resources for this team. They were kind of just trying stuff out, I think, experimentally. They were working with a young ARCA driver. Her name was Laura Lane, Laura, Lara. And that was back in 1995. And it was pretty fun. We used to go to antique stores, Mom and I, with Laura. We had fun. Yeah, that was Cornelius, North Carolina. So anyway, let's, it's a white 67, just to let you know. I'm going to clip it. I might have to take a few tries. They're in one of the 125s. And they're only visible when they're being lapped. And that's not too good in the 125s, but hey, at least they were there. You know how many people don't get to be there. And I got to be on pit road and watch the beginning and the start of this, and that was pretty fun and cool. So anyway, let me get to Daytona. This is around the time, this was a year after, actually. This picture on my screen is me and Bobby Labonte scorer. That was back in the day before transponders were relied on 100%. What's up, Stell? You stuck? Beep beep. Beep beep. Okay. Boy, she breaks my wall. Holy crap. She hasn't really done that before. There must be thunder again outside. She's been scared to death of the thunder. But she'll go lay with Christopher. Alrighty. What was I saying before I almost got my wall tore down? Yeah, this is Bobby Labonte's scorer. And I was late scorer. That's 96. This is Dega. We drove down together. That's why we were hanging out. She shared driving. That's how a lot of us went to the track. Anyway, I think I got this one already cued. Yup. We already did, like, on my other stream, we did the qualifying and we did the clash. Now this is the 125s, 1995. I was there in person. We were with, like I say, my dad was helping out one of the guys from my childhood growing up, Kenny Bouchard. It was Ronnie's younger brother, so he's giving him a hand. And it was for Cunningham Racing, and it was a number 67. It was white and unsponsored. In the qualifying, they were about 10 seconds off the pace. So that's what that's all about. Anyway, let's go racing. Thank you for watching.
We at Gatorade are proud of our long-standing relationship with NASCAR through our sponsorship of the Gatorade Twin 125s. The fans of NASCAR are the most loyal in all of sport, and we're proud to continue to bring this exciting event to them.
Going back to Daytona to hear those engines scream.
I forgot. I need to put a cloth on this chair.
I'm going back to a speedway dream. I can still hear the thunder of the stock car race. Cheers from the side of the first place.
I'll get copyrighted for this music.
You can feel it thundering. Whoa,
Thunder rolling all over town, Daytona.
to a dream.
If y'all like to play sounds.
This is
I
the
don't have my glasses on. Hope I typed that right.
Daytona Beach,
There we go.
Florida. Home tomorrow of the 37th annual Daytona 500. Hello everyone, Ken Squire, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway, where tomorrow CBS Sports brings you live flag-to-flag coverage starting at noon Eastern of this absolutely magnificent race. We have a tremendous field for the 1995 gathering, 42 drivers at the ready. And to our colleague Ned Jarrett, I guess the first question is, can you ever remember a year, and we've been down here, and things have gone so smoothly, so easy?
Hear the thunder? That was what Stella was
No major incidents.
scared about.
Racetrack, but certainly no life-threatening injuries of any sort, and we're always glad of that. There was a lot of anticipation coming into this race with the new Monte Carlo Chevrolet. How would they perform?
She's laying with
A lot of
Christopher.
people thought they might not run very fast, but they'd be good in the race. But when qualifying was all over, Dale Jarrett was on the pole with a Ford and Dale Earnhardt in a Chevrolet on the outside pole with a very close time. So no telling situation there.
Well,
might have to.
anticipation is part of it, but preparation is the major factor in coming to
Stand a
Daytona.
minute.
And to David Hobbs, the preparation has been just astounding this year.
Crap, it's
Everybody's
lit
been trying to
warm
work out
today.
these new cars.
On my chair.
Ken, racing is certainly not
It's
just a
plastic
one-day
and
wonder.
I'm
It's not just
sticking
on
to it.
Sunday. There's an amazing amount of preparation
There we
and
go.
testing goes on, and a full winter's testing down here at Daytona. And most of the time, Ford
That's
seems to
better.
be having the edge. Dale Jarrett, of course, being particularly fast, and it was all Ford.
Good old Flo Rider.
We all got here 10 days ago. Those Chevrolet Monte Carlos have really started to flex their muscles, and it's looked very, very strong. And we've got Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, and Jeff Gordon looking very, very potent in their Monte Carlos. And this afternoon's race.
After the 125s, I might do the 500 if I feel up to it.
Those Pontiacs, as we saw, as you're about to see in the 125 milers. That's a story.
I am lurking Rainbow Lion, I
But
believe.
first, the biggest story here, the man of the hour, is standing by with Mike Joy.
Yes, I am.
Dale Earnhardt, one day to the Great American Race. What's going to be different this time around?
Hopefully we'll be in victory lane. We've worked awful hard for it, Mike. Everybody's really pumped up. Feels good about this week, the way the car and everybody's been running, and the way my luck's been going. It's been pretty good. So we're just taking them one by one. And today's Busch Grand National race with Jeff Green driving, and we're going to see what he can do. And hopefully we'll be okay for tomorrow.
Richard Petty says the best you can do on any given day is put your car in a position to win. Circumstances dictate the outcome. How much of your own luck do you make?
Well, y'all, you can make your own luck. You just got to keep the car in the right position, and that's what Richard's talking about, is just, moving and making the right moves and being patient at the right times. It's just a lot goes into 500 miles. So if you were doing everything right all day long, you're going to end up in the right place.
You may not have exactly the fastest car here, but do you have the best car
My
here?
head cut off.
We got one of the best cars here. There's a couple cars out there that are
Okay.
really good. So I think we're one of the best. Maybe we'll be the best at the end of 500 miles.
You've won more than 24 races on this racetrack, but what's so different about the third Sunday in February?
I got no idea. We've always been good on that day. It's just some come up short somewhere.
Well, perhaps this Sunday he'll be just a little better. When we come back, the Gatorade Twin 125 to show you how everyone qualified for the Daytona 500.
I didn't review this one in
This season,
probably a year.
the Gatorade
I watched it about a year ago to try to find Kenny's car,
Quencher, the official
but I haven't watched it.
Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by
Jeez.
Beats with Age Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you.
At Daytona Beach, Florida, largest crowd ever gathered for the 125-mile qualifier.
My camera is so far away.
Half-mile track.
I can't tell.
Waiting to see who will make it into the 36th annual Daytona 500. The weather couldn't be better.
We won't make it in, but like I said, I'm there.
Temperature going to break.
I was living in Florida,
Race
actually,
underway, perhaps. Humidity's about
for about 10
light
months.
breeze, and it's sunny weather for both of these
This
50-lap
It's
events.
February,
Down on pit
and I
road,
moved
there's the
to
first
Mooresville, North
125
Carolina in
qualifier
April of
field. On the
95.
very front, it's Dale Jarrett, the man on the pole.
And then I worked at the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame as a volunteer.
Pole for Sunday's
So I got to meet Tim Flock, which was really cool.
race. What is it then?
More of a 50-lap test for us. We've been struggling with the car a little bit, so we're going to try to get it worked out here today. If it'll run up front, that's what we're going to do. If not, we're going to settle in and see what we need to do for Sunday, but we need to start this car here on the pole come Sunday.
Why is my table so
A lot
low?
of changes on this car this morning. What
I
and why?
raised it.
Well, we just haven't been able to hit the handle combination that we wanted. The car's been a little bit loose.
Knock all my crap
We
down.
just evaluated everything that we had done and thought we'd try something a little bit different that has worked in the past for them, and hopefully it'll work now.
Good luck, Dale. Across the front row, a man for whom this race is very important, with David Hobbs.
Sterling Marlin, you won the 500 last year. You
Dropped my
qualified
pen.
really good last weekend, and his
That's my
run. How
notes.
confident are you today?
They'll do better there.
Well, I tell you, Tony and the boys have done a real good job on the car. It's handled great, drove great, run great, and so I think we'll win it today. I tell you, it's real stout, and we'll just keep the fingers crossed. Try to win today, and we'll try to win Sunday.
Big rise in temperature today over the rest of the week. Is that going to affect the handling?
Yeah, it probably will. I say the traction gets slicker. It's been real cool all week, and today's first hot day, so we adjusted the car a little bit this morning, and I believe we'll
Oh, well.
Well, good luck, and thanks very much. And back to Ken Squire with the starting grid for the first of the 125-mile qualifying heat.
You see my knees?
In row
I think you
one, and
do.
on the pole for the
Ooh,
Daytona
that's
500
weird.
this year, Dale Jarrett, alongside defending Daytona
gonna fix
500 champion Sterling Marlin.
Sterling Marlin,
Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte, Michael Waltrip.
Row 3 is a
Paul Petty, Darrell
25-mile winner, Darrell Waltrip and Kyle Petty.
That's all right. I don't care.
Davy Jones and Rusty Wallace. Row 5.
Nobody gives a crap about 62-year-old knees anyway. I'm not going to sweat it. I'll adjust it after I'm done streaming.
Dave Marcus making his
I think I bumped it.
125-mile start.
Ooh, it's crooked too.
Bobby Hillen and Richie Petty.
I think I can fix that almost right away.
And Jeremy Mayfield. For row 10, Bobby Hamilton and Kenny Wallace. Row 11, 14-time sprint car champion Steve Kinzer and Shawna Robinson. In row 12, it's Kerry Teague and Gary Bradbury. Row 13, Kenny Bouchard and Joe Ruttman. Row 14, Ward Burton and Joni Machette. For the 15th row, Brent Godive and Doug Hebron. And rounding out the field, row
There were
16, Del
60-something
McConnell,
cars
his
trying to
first
qualify
Daytona
for this.
effort, Bob Strait. Field in turn 4 and approaching for the
Okay.
start of the first 125 miles,
Straightened out.
50-lap race. Top 14, excluding Dale Jarrett, qualify for the Daytona 500 from this event. Terry Labonte set the mark at nearly 190 miles an hour back in '89. Kinzer in the Bernstein number 26 after spinning in practice a day ago, relegated to last spot. He's pulled out. He entered another car, so he has to start in the rear back there with Bob Strait.
I'm all disarrayed today.
Now the backup car, you have to start in the rear.
There we go. I think that's better.
Taos for the 125-mile qualifiers. 1993 winner Dale Jarrett brings them down.
Oh, there's a bunch of crap on the table. There's a table. So far away. I'm going to look on my phone. I'm lurking Rainbow Lion, Maximilian Halleck. I'm always lurking somebody while I stream because free enterprise.
Going to turn 3 a little bit anxious.
They made a lot of changes on that pole car. There's 17. Waltrip making a run. Jarrett out in front. They changed the springs. What else did they change on 28 this morning?
Sway bar and some of the shock absorbers.
You see Sterling Marlin deployed second
On a different platform. I'm usually on iRacing.
event in a 120.
I don't know if I
Rusty Wallace even with Michael Waltrip for the yellow number 30. First lap
did the right thing, put it on sports, but
will be
who cares?
first. Marlin in second.
I'll get hit with more bots, that's all.
Petty right up in the front of the hunt. Fifth spot.
Is she?
Front 5 trying to break away. Rusty Wallace back in the car number 2 trying to close on this quintet. Marlin to the
This broadcast is very dark.
Morgan.
Like I said, we're in the car 67.
And now
Something happens. I'm pretty sure.
approaching pass for the lead.
Terry Labonte pulled up behind Sterling Marlin, and they just drive right on by Jarrett going
But
to the turn. Here comes Darrell.
they're running a lot better, but I don't know. I'll have to talk to Dad and get the skinny on the rest of that race.
Daytona 500 Speed Weeks effort. 5-time winner in the 125. Pulls himself up another notch to third. Kyle Petty fourth.
Rusty Wallace. Big
At least I
aspiration.
can bring up my chat here anyway.
Fifth. Dale Jarrett, handful right there, Ned.
Yes, he did have a handful with cars underneath him and getting a lot of air off of them. Makes the cars jump around.
Drops back, Jeff, the 44. Tennessee driver beneath him and shooting through.
I think I'm going to raise that up. It's cutting my head off. I see.
There you see Terry
BRB.
third and Waltrip having a great run in third spot.
No surprise that Sterling Marlin would be up front, but Michael Waltrip, who started up near the front, has dropped way back in the field. His Pontiac was very fast here in practice and in qualifying, but Michael fell back to about 10th position.
Started in fourth, he has fallen to 10th, and that was the lead Pontiac among them here. Looking further back in the field, and there you see that yellow number 30. Just in front of him, Dale Jarrett. He will still start from the pole in the 500. This is a good test bed for Jarrett as well as for Earnhardt. And look at the 77, the white number 77. That's Davy Jones, road racing expert. Several Indianapolis cars start. Switching, going to run the entire series this year. Try for Rookie of the Year in the Winston Cup standings. Back with the leaders. And it's still Sterling Marlin pacing them down into turn number 1 with Terry Labonte in that Hendrick car, looking very stout in second place.
Yes, very strong. I think a lot of people are predicting him to be a major threat for the championship this year and also for the Daytona 500. Here's Kyle Petty coming up on the outside of Darrell Waltrip. That's a bold move up on the outside. See if they can get any help. They're running side by side. Here's Ken Schrader behind Rusty Wallace.
Wobble on Waltrip there as he came into 3. That Pontiac up on the outside looking strong for Kyle Petty in the early going of his first 125-mile qualifying race for the 36th annual Daytona 500.
And Ken, as those cars run side by side, you can see the front two cars beginning to pull away. Now they single out a little bit. Waltrip dropping back a little bit. He got in a similar situation to what Dale Jarrett did. No help down there for somebody to push him on through, and those cars are just driving by him on the outside.
Meanwhile, you see the 29 there for a moment of Steve Grissom, sophomore, Alabama.
All right, much better.
Pulling himself up through the field.
Got my fan blowing on me this way. Got a little ad going on. I didn't catch, sorry.
Battling for
Trying to snooze him.
on the inside. Now here comes Jarrett and Michael Waltrip. Now Mike Wallace pulls out behind Waltrip.
And I think that's better.
He's able to move around.
Oh, yeah.
Car number
A
20,
little better.
Steve Grissom, and here's Jarrett going on the inside. Michael Waltrip following him through.
A report from Mike Joy.
That
Yeah.
draft is just what put Michael Waltrip back to 11th place.
Now I can read your
Nothing
chats.
wrong with the car, but he was behind Dale Jarrett, got shuffled back in the draft. They're going to ride for a while and see how this plays out, and then try to make a move toward the front. The car is okay.
Look at the momentum that Jeff Purvis picked up with those two cars running side by side. He drove by both of them going into turn 3. Now Steve Grissom gets a little help from the 43 car, Bobby Hamilton, and
Dick Trickle back there giving a little insistence
yeah, he's in
too
the
in
car
that draft.
number 15.
Dick Trickle's race cam giving you these pictures from the Budmore Engineering car, pulling up on number 30, Michael Waltrip.
Pins down there. I don't need it yet.
Was out there.
Showing 7 laps complete of 50 to be run. Dick Trickle giving you these pictures, and they're back around Jeff Purvis in the 44. Going much further back in the field now. There you see, that's Brett Bodine up in the Junior Johnson, number 11, going around Doug Heveron. They're fighting back in the 25th position.
It's Gary Bradbury in car number 15.
I think Kenny loses the lead draft for some reason. I don't know if it's a flat tire. I don't know, but he was
Sweeping Bobby Hill in number 20.
he was pretty slow, I think.
We're moved to what we saw Mark Martin make in the Busch Clash. And Mark didn't get by with it, Bobby did.
Caution out. Caution coming out as they come down by. Completing 8. Yellow is out around the track. Car number 26.
Uh-oh.
That's the Kinzer car. Steve Kinzer, Bloomington, Indiana, will have to hope for a provisional berth to make it into the 500. Back in a moment. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern, right here on CBS. Join us for our live coverage of the 36th Annual Daytona 500. Here in the Gatorade Twin 125, Sterling Marlin just in front of Terry Labonte, Kyle Petty, Wallace and Schrader making up the top 5. Then Darrell having a good run up in 6. Mike Wallace, Dale Jarrett getting ready for a go, and the Pontiac pace car drops off. Looks like it's going to be a battle at the start between Labonte and Sterling Marlin. And we're back under green.
And we'll see how that negotiation came out. But I expect Terry will stay back there and try to draft with Marlin and hope they can.
Walter with a 17-day shot immediately. Richie Petty running very slowly on the track on that start. Came across the start-finish line, and I believe he's going to pull off down here in turn number 1, running very slowly. Dale Jarrett giving you these exciting pictures. He closes and goes by Mike Wallace. Take a look at that telemetry at the speed. Climbs on Dale Jarrett's car number 28. It's won a 125-mile qualifier, that number in this team on 2 previous occasions. Davey Allison did it for them once and Ernie Irvin once. Coming by to complete a lap, and you still have Sterling Marlin in the lead. Terry Labonte holding right on in 2nd place. Kyle Petty maintaining 3rd. And Schrader looks like he wants to mix it up in this thing a little.
That is no surprise. He loves to run up front, loves to win.
From Dick Trickle's view, see Steve Grissom up on the outside, Mike Wallace just in front.
Yeah, the 3 Fords teamed up together. Jarrett's right in front of Mike Wallace, and now Trickle in his Ford has hooked onto them, trying to go by the Steve Grissom car.
9th, 10th, and 11th positions there. 125-miler stays stable up in front. Back to the line they come.
6 cars out in the lead draft, running single file.
Schrader back in the 6th, up in 5th. It is Waltrip. 4th is Wallace. 3rd is Petty. 2nd, Labonte, and Marlin leads the pack. And then look at this game.
And here's Ken Schrader going by Darrell Waltrip on the outside, taking over the 5th position.
Nips another. The pesky Schrader continuing to move through the field.
Sterling.
Steve Wallace running 4th. He's the first of the 4 drivers. A lot of speculation coming into Speed Weeks here at Daytona about the...
That was the year with the...
What kind of a race car?
X-Pipes.
Already in qualifying in the Busch Clash, and then already here today that it's going to be a good race car. We've got 2 of them out.
I got to hear that in person.
Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
And it rings.
Yes, the Busch Clash.
Like an Indy car.
Winston Cup event.
No,
Monte Carlo has 199 wins. If they win here in this event, that would
There we go.
number up to 200. Sterling Marlin giving us this shot at 2nd place. Terry Labonte closing in the back straightaway. Long time.
Sorry, it's kind of dark. I don't know really how to adjust that.
Quickly, they approach 200 miles an hour going into turn 3.
1995 technology.
Time for them to think.
Out to the wall, and back comes Labonte chasing Marlin.
Those 6 cars now, after Schrader made his move, moving into 5th, seem content.
There, I feel better without my bare legs.
Yes, pulling down on the inside as Schrader goes high. In fact, Schrader's going high to try to move around Rusty.
It's raining in Florida today.
Can he pull it off on Rusty?
Wallace pitches him just a little.
And Darrell Waltrip comes on the inside of Schrader, so that's going to kill Schrader's chances of making.
Oh, I got an itchy nose.
Meanwhile, the 2nd group closes up, led by Dale Jarrett. He's in 7th. Mike Wallace in 8th. Dick Trickle in 9th. Steve Grissom 10th. Jeff Purvis 11th.
Ooh, thunder.
12th. Davy Jones, the rookie, having a good ride.
Thunder.
Back in 13th.
Waltrip sort of caught down on the inside. Let's see one. Now Jarrett has caught him. He's going to follow Schrader, it looks like.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddy
Got an
and
average
say
speed
these
of over
magic
190
words.
miles per hour on that last lap. And look at Dale Jarrett wrestling that car into the back straightaway.
Riding the steering wheel. Everyone has said the problems that they are having getting the car set up right is coming off of turn 2. the car. It's the shortest turn on the speedway here, and it's tough to get set up.
Maybe show you this. Let me show you. Oh, there we go.
Tight turn. Doesn't bind the car down quite as much.
Jarrett, he is closing in on Schrader. Leader continues to be Sterling Marlin first, Terry Labonte second, Kyle Petty third, Rusty Wallace fourth, Schrader to fifth, Jarrett to sixth, Waltrip falls to seventh. Take a look at this scramble. There is Joe Rutman leading that group. Right behind him, Jeremy Mayfield in the number 98. And the number 31, Ward Burton and Bobby Hamilton. Remember the last time we had a Hamilton in a Petty car? Won the Daytona 500 back in 1970. That was Pete Hamilton.
No relation.
No relation. One of those damn Yankees.
Okay, Bobby makes a good move there in the Richard Petty car. Joe Rutman goes right with him. All of these guys are trying to get up there in the top 15 positions. That is their mission and their goal.
And that's the battle for the bubble right now. Hamilton is in 15. The number 80, Rutland, right with him in Mayfield. Make or break situation in that part of the pack. Meanwhile, for the front, Sterling Marlin steady out there in first place. And Terry Labonte, who's finished second twice in the 500. Mr. Consistency in the past several years, hanging right on. Further back in the field, see Rusty Wallace coming by. That's your fifth place car. And right with him comes Dale Jarrett in the 28 and 6, driving that Robert Yates car.
4 cars are broken away. Rusty Wallace running 5th and Jarrett in 6th. And those 4 cars up front, the 3 Chevrolets and Kyle Petty, have pulled away. Now Kyle wants to do a little bit of racing. Pulling down on the inside, taking over second from Terry Labonte.
Fine performance by the Kyle Petty Pontiac up into second. This report from David Hobbs.
Hi, I'm with Paul Andrews in Jeff Bodine's pit. What's wrong with Jeff this afternoon? He's slipping right to the back.
Well, we kind of lost the draft there. Now we can't really run along. You know, we're kind of hoping we can get a little caution here, actually, and get caught back up. We'll just have to see.
Is your speed going to be all right to get you in the race?
It'll be marginal. We might, you know, depends on what happens up in the front and the rest of the pack, but the front runners, we'll just have to see for that.
Well, good luck in the race, Paul. Not the way you want to start the season up at Daytona. Ken?
There you see that 7 car that had such high hopes, the 86 champion in this race. Jeff Bodine having his problems. Remember when they restarted, he was 23rd. He's fallen to 24th. Looking back from leader Sterling Marlin to Kyle.
Okay. I shared it a couple of spots. I'm not sure if it's gonna be all right to do it under sports, but I did. I'll try it. Experiment.
Number 1 Connecticut. That's 3:45 this afternoon here on CBS. At Daytona, it's Marlin, Schrader, Kyle Petty, Labonte, the front 4. And here comes Jarrett along with Waltrip beneath Wallace for 5th.
Jarrett had been following Wallace there for a while, and maybe he figured that he could pull them a little bit faster. Those front 4 cars had begun to get away a little bit, so Darrell Waltrip goes with Dale Jarrett and makes the pass. So see if Jarrett can pull them faster than Rusty Wallace.
That puts Waltrip into 6th. Leaves Rusty Wallace back in 7th for the moment. Up in front, Marlin leading, Schrader in 2nd and trying to close in, and there's the interval. As you look at it, out of the back of Sterling Marlin's Chevrolet,
Go Beans.
Ken Schrader now 2nd, the Pontiac of Kyle Petty in 3rd, then the Chevy of Terry Labonte 4th, and the first Ford is 5th place, Dale Jarrett.
A little surprising that one car would be able to pull away a little bit, break away, because normally on these tracks where they run the restrictor plates on the engines and the drafting plays such a major part, it's surprising to see one pull away. But Sterling Marlin, he was very confident when David...
Okay, where would the number...
that he could win this thing. And
67. It was a small unsponsored team that my dad was helping out Kenny.
Dick Crickle is still...
Kenny Bouchard.
Wallace, Bobby Hamilton. There's the man on the...
See.
Michael Waltrip has made the shift.
Nemechek had gone on to get the Burger King sponsorship.
Dave Marcus struggling.
Now, I don't know if we dropped a cylinder, we were running slow, or got a flat tire, or lost the draft, but we will get past. See, we're 67 in front of Dale McCowart. And to my knowledge, that will be the only picture of the 67 that I have been able to find. And what I'll do is clip it when I see it
on that race car. And,
It's somewhere around, I think
very good.
Randy LaJoy's gonna spin or something.
Big surprise that
Maybe.
If you just joined
Not sure. But I know I see it briefly.
Monte Carlos seem to be enjoying it just fine in this Daytona weather, with Sterling Marlin leading, Ken Schrader in second, Labonte in fourth.
At this point in time, I was living in Florida, so I was actually here
Front is the Pontiac of Kyle Petty.
in real life, 95. Before the race started, I would have been out on pit road
An hour. There's no record here.
when they were just on the grid for a split second. I really wasn't supposed to. You're not supposed to
89
go around the cars and stuff too much, but
miles an hour.
I did go out there just to say I did.
Give that record to Terry Labonte.
There might be our car.
7, Ken Bouchard.
Yep.
out of Pittsburgh,
Here it is.
flowing. Dal McCoward also getting picked
I apologize. I got to clip the
markers here.
for my stuff.
Schrader, who is coming on the outside,
See if I can clip that one.
is going for it. That big lead evaporates. It's
All right.
one car length, by which Sterling Marlin.
Let's see.
With Sterling Marlin leading, Ken Schrader in second, Labonte in fourth, now Waltrip in fifth. Breaking up that Chevy organization in front is the Pontiac of Kyle Petty in third. Average speed stays at about 152 miles an hour. There's no record here. You've got to go green all the way to get close to the mark that was established back in 1989. They averaged 100
See if I got it.
miles an hour.
Sorry about this.
125 miles of racing. Give that record to Terry Labonte.
There it is.
There's 67, Ken Bouchard out of Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, slowing. Dal McCoward also getting picked up. Leaders into some back markers here. And take a look at Schrader, who is coming on the outside. Ken Schrader's going for it.
All right.
Down to about one car length, by which Sterling Marlin leads Schrader going into turn one.
when Marlin made the move to go low under Del
Might as well throw it on Facebook. That way I can save it.
because he had to turn the car left, scrub some speed.
Ah,
Gave Schrader the run that
That's
he made
fine.
there and ran right up on him.
Ken Schrader
I'm going to try to
having a
do kind of a bio with these clips of things my dad did. But that was the car he was working on. I think it will be one other time we'll see it.
miler. Andy Hillenberg gave him that. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Ken Howes is Schrader's crew chief. And Ken, are you surprised it's taken everybody so long to pull down on that 4 car?
Yeah, that 4 car is always tough here. You know they can run here, and I'm just pretty happy that we look like we can keep up.
They're keeping up pretty well right now. What has Kenny said on the radio?
Oh, hey, Panic, what's happening? Sorry I was clipping.
A little early to try yet. We're just trying to get close enough.
I didn't change the tires.
We might get close enough, and let's see what happens.
My ex actually was. He was a tire carrier.
Now is not one of the good old Southern boys as a
But-
chief on the car, but he's a tremendous.
He was one that, like, he had the battery, like that. Back then they had generators attached to the batteries and stuff until race time. They unhook them and pull the generators away. And he's like, come on out here. And I know during the race, you can only have X number over the wall. So I was like a little leery, but I looked and other people were out there. I'm like, screw it. I ran out on pit road, like where the cars were gridded, which was cool. It was cool.
Horsepower in the one.
Yep. Sandwiches him right in there. Take a look. A little
I am having a good day.
goes up to the outside.
It's been thundering, been raining.
Made a good move.
I was in the shower and like in a RV, you have like a little
There it seems
skylight
the car maybe had gotten a little bit.
on the other side of the wall above the shower, and I saw a lightning flash. I'm like, holy crap. I yelled to my son, if I get electrocuted in the shower. Damn. But yeah,
He will run everywhere.
other than that, it was uneventful.
And he has closed some ground.
But
Terry Labonte.
trying to get a little more active, like today,
So cool. So
I believe is Wednesday.
on Schrader.
If I'm wrong, I don't know. But there's a car show. And now that it rained, it might be tolerable heat-wise to go film a car show today. Yeah, I know. Yikes. That's why I had the thunder on the thing. Because I like...
15th position on the bubble. Has moved Joe Rutten.
I'm not really a chicken of the thunder, but that was like... I ducked.
Two of them trying the high side. There is Bobby Hill and that Morosi.
You remember my thunder sound?
Off the pace.
Oh, shoot. Did I miss it?
Up on Joe Nemechek.
God, I get too many mice and mouses.
Finish in the top 15 in this race, or he will go home. His speed will not get him in the race. He has a new team, and
there we go.
he has no points to fall back on as far as a provisional is concerned.
Just grab your thunder buddy and say these magic words.
Shot down here by Bobby Hill on the inside, but not without giving it a good, strong fight. Nemechek with his own team this year comes right back.
That's awful. But anyway, I sing that to my puppy when she's scared. Oh, I think you're going to see us again. Whoa! Yes, because I remember this shot. We're going to go by somewhere here when Randy is driving back to the pit or something. Or under a replay. Yeah, it's under a replay. We'll see our car. All right, there it is, right there. Just went by.
Tires, he'll have to come in.
Bobby was driving the 20. Dad'll go to this team like shortly after like Atlanta. That will be Dad's other team in 95. I gotta clip it. Crap.
One airship. Aerial ambassador of the King of Beer.
Stop. Slow down.
Of the Daytona
Here we go.
International Speedway. And from the blimp, let's review it.
I thought that was Randy LaJoy, but I was wrong. And there's Joe Nemechek in his ride, but my dad has left his team by now.
Hill and Lucy. Down on the inside, the back end just simply got away from him. He stayed.
Let's do this KB 1967 1995.
On that brand new paved area as you came out of turn 2, racing back to the line. Caution coming out.
I think they're going to replay it a couple times, and we'll be able to see us.
Tires, he'll have to come in, and he has to get out.
Let's see if I can make it bigger.
Outside.
Oops, shoot.
But those spotters are saying to him, you've got to get your boot in it.
Can only do a minute.
Can't afford to lose any other. Down on the inside.
That sucks, doesn't it? In the sim and in real life.
Pull the air off the spoiler, and away goes Bobby Hillen on that brand new paved area as you came out of turn 2, racing.
Brand new paved area. Listen to that. The brand new paved area in 95.
Out of Midland, Texas, flat spotting the set of tires. He'll have to come in, and he has to get out here and go racing. He needs to have a good finish to assure himself a place in the day.
I have to copy it twice.
Back with more in a moment.
Okay, that was good.
The Bud 1 airship.
Oh, I think they're gonna replay it.
These beauty
Copy.
shots of the Daytona International Speedway. And from the blimp, let's review the plight of Bobby Hillen.
Yeah.
Out here in turn 2.
I'm gonna have to do a new one.
Down on the inside, Joe Nemechek and
outside.
God dang it. Ah, crap. Let me do this. There we go.
Pull the air off the spoiler and away.
Too far.
Back end just simply got away from. Down on the inside, the back end just simply got away from him. He stays down on the inside.
Pull the air. Get your boot in it and do it now.
Yes, sir. He can't afford to lose it.
Might have to do it in 2 clips.
Down on the
Sorry, guys. I'm a pain.
He stays down on the inside.
Pull the air off the spoiler, and away goes Bobby Hillen on that brand new paved area as you came out of turn 2, racing back to the line. Caution coming out. Bobby Hillen out.
There we are. We just went back.
A set of tires, he'll have to come in, and he has to get out here and go racing. He needs.
See if I catch the clip so I can do it in just one.
Daytona 500. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Back with more in a moment. Here we go with the replay.
Bud 1 airship. Aerial ambassador of the King of Beer.
I just can't get over how barren everything is back then. It's a Taj Mahal now.
Let's review the plight of Bobby Hillen out here in turn 2.
Oh, I'm not going to get it.
Bobby Hillen down on the inside. Joe Nemechek and car number 87 up on the outside. And the car number 80
get your boot in it and do it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do it in 2. Share.
International Speedway. And
I don't.
Let's review the plight of Bobby Hillen. out here in turn 2.
Here's the 20 car of Bobby Hillen down on the
I can get it from my clips later.
7 up on the outside. And the car number 80 of Joe
Clip
Rickman.
this one more. Sorry, guys. I told you in the beginning I got to clip one little thing on this 125s.
Gets a little bit deeper into the turn. We'll move it forward, and you can see the back end of the car. 7 up on the outside. And the car number 80 of Joe Ruttman right here. He's taking a
Not to pit and take
7 up on the outside. And the
shots of the Daytona International Speedway. And from the blimp, let's review the plight of Bobby Hillen.
There it is.
Turn 2.
Here's the 20 car of Bobby Hillen down on the inside. Joe Nemechek and car number 87 up on the outside. And the car number 80 of Joe Ruttman right here. He's taking a little bit of air off the spoiler of Hillen's car. Now, as Hillen gets a little bit deeper into the turn, we'll move it forward, and you can see the back end of the car start
That
to move
20 my dad will work on like 5 weeks ahead of this race.
The air comes off.
Because I'll move to North Carolina because of that job.
Just a little bit, not
Because my ex actually went to drive truck for them too.
the racetrack.
For Moroso for a year.
And Hillen keeps it on the asphalt.
My dad got my ex a lot of jobs.
The asphalt there scrubs off the speed. He doesn't hit anything.
Because he was just a regular CDL driver. There we are.
On the track,
Did we see our
leaderboard dramatic
car just for a split second?
of the Daytona International Speedway. And from the blimp,
Hello. Hello.
to Bobby Hillen out here in turn 2.
Hillen's car. Now, as
There, I saved it.
deeper into the turn, we'll move it forward, and you can see the back end of the
What is going on?
and the
Oh, Tony. Hey, Tony. Welcome. Welcome, Raiders.
goes around
I do watch parties now and then because I'm researching a book.
very alert and goes to the outside of the racetrack.
And it's a book of my dad's racing career. And I was just trying to clip
On the track,
the car he was working for, this 95 Daytona 1995. And it's that car right there. That white car. See? Let's go back.
and you can see
Let's go back. And I'll pause it right when we see that car.
a great deal that he can do about
It's a real low budget team. It was Kenny Bouchard. My dad was helping him because he's like one of our childhood like racers from up north in the modified series.
goes to the
So dad was helping him.
he gets by
And 5 weeks from this time, he will work actually on the 20 with Hillen,
track, and
which Hillen
there
only lasts a couple more races. I think dad was with him after Atlanta.
caution, several cars have stayed on
Okay, we're going to see it. Ah, geez, was that it?
a great race among those top guys to get back.
That was it. You can't see it.
Schrader
It's a white car.
and he stays first.
Damn, screw that.
For that matter, Grissom, Marcus Bodine
So how y'all today? How was your stream, Tony?
and take on new tires. Back in 6 is Kyle Petty.
Yeah, I was trying to clip that because I somehow want to compile, like,
And it poses a question here about
at least the cup stuff and the bush stuff in a little video clip of like a fade in, fade out each race my dad did that he happened to be mentioned or
bad.
be interviewed or something. Benny mentioned him a lot, and Mike Joy knew him
All of those cars would
quite well because Mike came from Stafford, and that was our home track in the 70s.
maneuver immediately. Looks like Kyle Petty trying to jam up the outside. Goes way to the wall and
Tony, thank you so much. Let me see if I can do a shout out.
wall trip right there with Kyle Petty. And here's Sterling.
Let's see how I do that.
Turn 3.
And look how they went around Jeff Bodine in the car number 7. Jeff did not pit, had on the older, hotter tires. And I think he's going to make a big difference.
Raising him.
I never cease to amaze myself. This stuff is so different than the computers. I was an executive secretary
Was Bob's
in Cornelius, North Carolina. That was my in real life job, and I raced on the weekends
up in front.
in 95, 96, and 97.
Number 2.
And beyond that, I mean, I only raced till 97, but I was an executive secretary most of my real life career and a team scorer
Small piece of
in my fake life.
the start finish line.
The fun part of my life.
To the inside, going for first place.
And
Sterling Marlin pulls himself himself right back up into the lead.
This was the year Sterling had the X pipes. Do you remember seeing, if you watch Stapleton 72, he had a whole thing on that car. And the X pipe design that just sounded like an Indy car. It was pretty cool to be there and hear that.
Tires.
It was pretty awesome.
Leading that assault upon that group.
Had a ring.
Elected not to. And Marlin has worked his way right back.
And you can't really hear it on here.
Has a new crew chief this year, Buddy Parrott, who was crew chief for Rusty Wallace.
Let me see if you can hear it a little.
Dressing there right now.
Kyle Petty looking.
No, I can't hear it.
Dale Jarrett.
In real life, you could.
Ooh, Terry Labonte got off the cliff.
But yeah, I was at this track. I lived in Florida then. It was 95 February, and I moved to Mooresville, North Carolina in April of 95. And then I worked at the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame as a volunteer when we were first setting it up. And that was a fun time.
On the inside of Jerry. Jarrett got hung up.
Chief, hello. Thank you for coming by and saying hello.
Cost him a little bit.
Chief is awesome.
Dave Marcus, who's twice won a 125 miler, up on the outside.
I missed Chief streaming lately.
Behind Dale Jarrett's car.
I'm doing okay.
That's Jeff Purvis in the car number 4.
I had plans to get up on the roof and do some Gorilla Glue sealing with like this white spray, Flex Seal type stuff.
Up in front.
Because it just needs to be done.
Showing a lot of it.
But
in this first one.
it's pouring and thundering, and
But back here.
so all that got changed. So I said, well, time to look at the 125s. Clip out the clip I showed you I had to clip out. Because I don't have any pictures of that 67, and I'm going to somehow try to extrapolate it from
Look at that.
from that little clip.
Dale Jarrett. Labonte on the outside.
For those 3 clips, I might be able to do something with them.
Forgot what he said.
My dad is not with Joe Nemechek anymore. That was 94, 93, and 92, and 91. Oh, that car is loose.
The field is okay, but not necessarily up front. It has to be his race car.
Well, he almost got both sides swiped on that one. Here's Mike Joy.
Well, a lot of smiles in the 4-car pit as Sterling Marlin.
And my home track is Stafford Springs.
Right.
It's on your sim.
Hey, what have you got under the hood of that thing?
Got a Chevrolet motor in it.
Yeah, and what have you done to it?
We worked on it
This winter.
We worked on it.
What have you found?
We just got a good combination. And,
Okay, that's the sound.
It does.
Once he gets by himself, you can hear the ring.
Always run.
It was an X-pipe design on the exhaust system.
Walter. It's been a long time since we've seen him fly like this.
He came to Daytona with
Back then, you could
enthusiasm.
tinker with the exhaust systems. Like,
Second straighter back to third.
I think you had to be a certain size
And into fifth.
opening, but, you know, the tubing,
Labonte seventh, Dave.
a certain OD, but
Ninth is Michael Walter.
the designs, they allowed them to experiment, and different designs would heat or cool the exhaust more or less. It was interesting. I liked it back when we could really.
Chevrolet Monte Carlos running first, second, and third. Rusty Wallace and Dale Jarrett fourth and fifth in fourth.
Need help doing what, Chief, on the roof?
Tires are hurting Schrader. He's dropped back. Those front
Yeah.
cars are pulling away from him. He's able to stay ahead of
I'm
him.
just gonna throw the ladder up and climb
I think if he had the new tires, I think he would be in better shape.
with actually a dustpan and brush, you know, just. It's funny, like, on the edges of the RV, it has such a skinny little drip edge, which is a rain gutter, sort of. But with the tall oaks and the live oaks here with those little skinny leaves, they all get trapped in there.
5 to go.
And it backs up, just like a rain gutter would back up in your home. So I got to go up there and, like, scrape that little groove out.
Now is Sterling Marlin.
Because I haven't in a while.
17 years of effort, and it all came home a year ago.
Oh, cool.
Great American race for Columbia.
Yeah, I might film up there.
Daytona 500.
I know one thing from going up there. The AC unit puts off water. And where the water runs down, like The RV is a fifth wheel, so it's like this.
Jeremy Mayfield.
That's dramatic, but you know, it runs off front and rear.
15th position. Hamilton trying.
And when it runs off the AC up there, it just runs across the roof and into the groove and onto the ground. Well,
back there in 8th.
because of it running across the roof and us having the live oaks, it grows algae.
Leader.
So I have to throw a big bath towel up there and crawl on my hands and knees on the bath towel, because if not, I'll slide right off the end of it, right under the ground, because that's how slick the algae is up there on the far back corner, just under the tree. The other part, it's sunny enough. It doesn't get algae, but...
Gordon a few years ago in the Daytona 500, and it worked for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up there and just spray with the Gorilla Glue. And
Hamilton and up to
last year I went up with the
Mayfield has got
Flex Seal patch in the paste because there was some cracks and this and that, like where the antennas go up, because this is an older unit that still has an antenna. And
That's his best finishing position ever in one of these.
instead of a satellite, you know. But we have
Daytona 500.
internet, Spectrum or whatever.
back to that bubble battle, and look at this.
But yeah, that's one thing I gotta do.
As far as these drivers are concerned.
And I was gonna do it today because it hadn't rained in several days, so it's good and dry, and now it poured like hell.
Hamilton in the
It's flooded, actually,
14th position.
our road.
Jeremy Mayfield at the present time. Hamilton in the 43.
And that's a 7-time champion Richard Petty's car. On the inside, the car number 98, 3-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion Cale Yarborough owns that car.
I'm itching my foot. We have these little gnats, and I brought Stelly out
Battle continuing further up
just a little bit ago and got bit on the foot.
as the time begins to run out on this one. White flag coming.
White flag for the first 125. Sterling Marlin, of course, is running away with it.
Second.
Everyone thought that they had some trick motor. It was really the X-pipe design.
Last lap. Anything left from Darrell Waltrip to close?
We don't qualify. There were 65,
It looks doubtful, I think.
I think, cars qualified.
But he's coming.
In 1995. Like I said, it was here.
Rest assured that I think he's had
But-
too much real estate between him and the 4 car.
And then there's a lot of room.
Because I lived in Florida, if we don't qualify here, I probably go home after
Down the first 125 miles.
the second 125. But I was probably watching it. I don't remember if
In car number
I
4.
was probably on pit road and then back at the trailer,
And
to
he's
be honest.
this one home.
And here's the battle for third.
At this point, you kind of just all head to the trailer
In the screen right now.
where the car is, you know.
The positions in the day.
And we didn't probably have a garage because,
Bobby Hamilton, I think he got it.
As did Joe.
like I said, so many cars
Jeremy Mayfield will check them all.
were qualifying.
Winner. Beginning
And
where he left off last year.
I think they line up their tractor trailers to the previous year points. There's always, like,
Sports special.
being a CDL driver, my ex, would always have to know where they're all meeting. And, like, Chief saw that when he did
Drink it up.
Martinsville or Talladega, one of them, where you saw all the
And by Goodyear.
the transporters lined up, but they actually line up in the order of points. So when they drive in
Sterling Marlin wins a
at
125.
7 a.m. or whatever, they're in the correct order. And if you're late, your team gets fined.
Michael
Back then they did anyway.
Dave Marcus, and back where the struggle was on, Ward Burton, Joe Nemechek, Bobby Hamilton the 13th, Joe Ruttman 14th, Jeremy Mayfield 15th. Just how hard were they trying to qualify? Well, take a look at this. This was the coming down to the white flag. There you see Bobby Hamilton up on the outside.
Joe.
Nemechek there.
Hamilton.
Between and keeps on flying to come home.
He ended up, I think, getting pancreatic cancer.
Bobby Hamilton as Joe Ruttman.
When they discovered his cancer, it was
Save, Ken. He could have wrecked several
stage
cars
4.
there, but he made it on back and gets
We
it.
had a lot of chemicals in the pits back then. I had health issues when I raced every week.
Here's the brain trust of the winning team. Tony Glover's the crew chief, Runt Pittman, the engine builder. Sterling Marlin drove it home, and it looked easy from here.
Well, I tell you, with a team like this, these boys work so hard, and it makes it look easy. The car drove great, Runt's motors,
They couldn't touch it. So I think we'll be in real good shape Sunday.
Right, why does this car sound differently?
Sorry, guys, it's so dark. Maybe the
By itself, which it was.
next one won't be so much, so...
We might have carried it to the Bob's Muffler shop there at Abingdon to get it fixed. Oh, let's go to David Hobbs.
Well, I'm with Dale Jarrett, who does...
Boy, it's a flood out in
Yeah,
the
the other bit of
road.
a sinking spell in the middle that came on strong at the end. How did it run?
It got better. We were able to learn some things today, and that was important for us. We'd been pretty bad shape here the first of the week trying to get this car to draft, and I think we hit on something. We made an adjustment there on the pit stop that seemed to help the car, and so we'll fine-tune from there. But Chevrolet's look pretty strong. We just have to work.
It certainly did look strong, and at one
Shadows are so dark.
race out there, and a certain color commentator up in the booth was getting just a bit worried about what you'd said at the beginning of the race, that you wanted to race this car, not the backup.
Yeah, but I was in pretty good company around there. So when they went by me at the first, I didn't have any help and just wanted to settle in somewhere and then see what the car was doing. So wasn't too bad.
Oh, yeah, okay, maybe they do it different now.
A bit tight at times. Well,
Back then, when I raced, was when Hendrick started with the three-car team and stuff, and boy, did everyone complain.
The front row,
But-
seven-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt. Along
He had an entire factory that just spit out cars.
in row 2, it's Bobby Labonte and Lake Speed. Row 3 is Phil Parsons and Morgan Shepherd.
Like Henry Ford type style.
2 years
Everyone had their own little
and Mark Martin.
machine.
For row 5, Todd Bodine.
Those people didn't travel to the track.
25-miler, Bill Elliott. Row 6,
Oh, right.
Ricky Rudd and Ted Musgrave. Row 7,
This is 125 number 2.
row 8,
Gosh.
New Englanders, Ricky Craven and
Randy was driving the 22.
Burton and
Interesting.
Dahl is back. Row 10, Ben Hess and Chad Little. Row 11, Billy Stanbridge and Jim Sauter. For row 12, Steve Seligman and Mike Chase. Row 13, Loy Allen, last year's Daytona 500 pole sitter, and Jimmy Spencer. Row 14, Greg Sachs and Rick.
Greg Sachs, he's another of our northern.
From Australia, Terry
Well, Spencer, Sachs,
16, Ronnie Sanders, and the oldest
all our modified guys.
9, James Hilton. And again, the significance of this race, 14 will make it into the Daytona 500, excluding the front row qualifier Earnhardt. Then 8 more will come from previously run time trials. Finally, 4 provisional.
Take the glasses off.
The 42-car field. There you see Rick Mast, and back in 32nd position, James Hilton, giving it one more shot, one more time. Pace car is in. We're ready for the second 125-mile qualifier. Taking the green, and it's Earnhardt shooting out in front.
There's some sounds to play with. I don't have song requests on right now. I don't think.
Shooting down to the inside, coming
Oh, crap.
up in second place, Bobby Labonte in car 8.
Tried to snooze it.
Yeah, he followed right on Dale Earnhardt's bumper there on the start, trying to get into that second position. Now Earnhardt's pulling away as Presley pulls back up on the outside of Labonte. That'll let Earnhardt pull away a little bit. They're too deep for about 4 rows there behind Earnhardt. Look at him span out on the backstretch. Everybody trying to draft on by. Labonte caught on down.
The 500, I believe, is the raw satellite feed. I think it's going to be a lot clearer. The Busch Clash was clearer the other day,
On Morgan Shepherd
but
just in front. Down on the
I don't know why.
Bobby Labonte.
This one is so dark.
Turn 4, and that's not where he wants to be. That is not a good position on this racetrack.
and Sachs in the black car making a move from down low up into the middle of the track, and still
Sachs got that Kendall sponsorship back then, I think.
Jeff Gordon
Greg still meets with my dad and Birdie.
on Mark Martin.
I don't know if you know who I mean. Steve Bird, he was the crew chief on Randy LaJoy's winning team and Kenny Wallace's,
Bobby Labonte.
well, championship teams, and Kenny Wallace's championship team. And we were all actually born in the same hometown. So my dad and him go to coffee every Monday still.
And out in front,
Steve Bird and Greg Sachs has been known to pop in there now and then.
Team is one Bill Elliott.
Before Bugsy died, he would pop in, Bugsy Stevens.
sponsors here.
Bob Carvinen, he's a modified driver from New England, from Stafford. He
Pretty good. Here,
usually attends.
see him fight his way up.
Billy Harmon, an ex
The Woods
Daytona 500 competitor.
Martin coming up, he looked high.
Back in the 60s, he's usually there.
Speed, 3 Fords out front. A little different from what we saw in the first race. They were all Chevrolets up there.
They meet in the town of Edgewater.
This race, and that trouble.
It's kind of a central location for a lot of the retired racing guys down here. Ooh, Rick Myers.
Just not having any run.
Boy, he has had a tough time
Caution
since
out.
the Daytona.
Caution out as they come back. Racing back to the line, and Morgan Shepherd will be there. It'll be Lake Speed in second.
I worked for Lake the following year.
Going, first caution is out.
Still Spam, but a different logo, like the
Try to make the 500.
taller Spam logo.
Back under.
And yes, we got lots of samples.
5, Jeff Gordon chasing Mark Martin.
Oh, he might be content to ride there for a little bit. He certainly
Best way was really thin sliced, almost like
so he might just be
fried bologna,
as it looks like James Hilton is going to
or
today,
cube it,
going into the garage. So
little teeny
will
cubes,
not be in the Daytona 500.
like
James
put in
finished
hash browns.
1967, 59 years young. Giving another try today and has retired the car back to the garage area. Bumble battle. How about this? See Ricky Craven coming right in there, fighting with Ricky Rudd. Battles the 15th. They swap it around. 2:15 now with the confident Hurley driver. Ricky Craven is just outside.
Phil Parsons in the car number 19 is going back, but Phil has a good enough speed to get him in the Daytona 500, even if he doesn't finish in the top 15 here.
Just in front of them, Chad Little, looking very good in that car, 97.
It's really hard to make
Craven,
the 500 back then
15 for the lead.
for all this charter crap and everything.
By the two-time winner.
But 65 people take their hopeful
For Indy.
car and go to this track in the hopes you get in it. And that was the excitement back then.
They got behind.
Now it's
They were coming through some traffic, but
anticlimactic. You already know who's qualifying.
just before.
John Andretti is doing a fine job. He's picked himself up. 9-7.
Can you imagine 65 hopefuls trying to make it in what
Bobby Labonte
those weeks leading up and practicing and building and working on the car, and it's like you
got shuffled around there at the
like another soul in your family is working on that car.
18. Ted Musgrave in car number 16, Todd Bodine, 75.
Be one of those lucky ones, and you get in on time first, and then it's
Going strong into
only the front two. Then the 125s, they only take a certain number out of each one of them. Then they have like 2 provisionals or 4 provisionals, depending. Back then
good in the
they
corner.
changed it here and there.
Usually is, but
So half
getting any help on the
of the 65 almost go home, which
Here's some good drafting going on.
to make it in this race was huge. If you didn't have owner points from the previous year, you were host. They're all done, not going in.
Going into turn number 1. Bad trouble. Spencer's torn up in that
Spencer
Allen up there in car number 27.
one. And Billy Stanbridge in the 47.
racing for last place, man.
See tire marks
Why?
coming off the 18-degree tri-oval. The 27 of Loya.
Hooters just left racing in real life for the first time
Be strong enough to get him into the
since back then with Kawicki.
the second caution of the race.
Well, that
Costly. He may not
sponsorship went with Loy Allen
big trouble too unless they can
the
get
following year.
get out here, but looks terminal for both Spencer and Standridge.
Bodine will buy Kowicki's team in '94 and run some of the Hooters different. Like there's a whole documentary on how many
Spencer.
sponsors they had then,
Pieces flying off of it. And the
which is pretty good.
bright orange-looking car of Loy Allen, car number 27, he gets
And
as well.
I enjoyed watching like
And so this second twin
those types of things.
mile Gatorade qualifying.
Like there's people that collect all the cars from just the Kowicki from his,
not have starting position.
from his passing, and the team keeping on going with Bodine driving it some
Spencer.
and all. There's a whole documentary on it. I don't want to get the facts wrong, but
Does well in these
Fireball.
does not necessarily.
That was my favorite driver.
Only 4 drivers have come through the 125s and 1 in the Great American Race. Tomorrow, 12 noon.
I was 7 when we lost
The Daytona
Fireball.
500.
I very much remember it. It was pretty impactful, and it just taught me a young lesson, a lesson young, that that's racing. That happens. It's real. You just don't think about it.
Mark Martin at work.
And then I became a Richard Petty fan. But I've always been a Smokey Yunick fan.
He works out every day, at least 5 days a week.
And that's just not aerobics. That's hard stuff.
Oh, yes. He's very, very strong.
And you need that these days.
When Smokey was in the pits, everybody be whispering, "There's Smokey, there's Smokey, there's Smokey."
As we look at the running order,
It's like a legend.
he's got 6 cars
Or is a legend.
from the 7th place car.
He belongs in the NASCAR Auto Racing Hall of Fame. He's in 40-something other Hall of Fames.
In the show at the
At least.
Here are the guys that are making the headlines.
But
Earnhardt and Gordon, first and second. Mark
Francis need to get over it.
Bill Elliott in fourth. And Bill Elliott is a very patient man. His father, George Elliott, he's a very patient man.
Yes.
Bill learned well.
Here's Robert.
Considering Smokey invented everything that's running in those engines,
Side of Morgan Shepherd.
pretty much.
In car number 12, the Bobby Allison car.
All of this for ninth.
Engines and cars you drive today.
Into it now. Boy, Chad,
He invented the
a long time
327 to 427, all them
well for him.
V6s,
Presley dropping
Yeah,
back.
V8s,
Off that inside, Ken. That's not the best
Osterlin.
go here right now.
Is it Osterlin?
Is
Whatever was in the Hudson Hornet, he had a hand in that.
him to slide back, but his speed will get him in the Daytona 500.
Oster or something.
Worry
I
about
forget. Offerman.
a starting.
I don't know.
Speed starting.
I'm really digging in the brains.
15th in the number 22 car, Craven to 14th.
Look at that classic shot.
13th, and Ricky Rudd up to 12th. Here are the leaders. Earnhardt and Gordon.
Said Thursday up there because they did not ever play the 125s live
Complete.
back then. They always played them on the weekends. For that ad money.
And be consistent for a while. Look at Bobby Labonte going up
making a
on the
move.
outside.
Good move on the outside of Todd Bodine. Let's see if he can pull it off as he comes off of turn 4. Yep, he sure does. Let's go to the pits and Mike.
We listened to it on MRN though in real time.
Hates to follow, and he's behind a guy, Dale Earnhardt, who hates to do anything but lead. Is he biding his time, or does he have anything for Earnhardt, right?
Well, we're doing the best we can, you know.
God, this is such a dark.
When Jeff graduates, because Earnhardt takes him to school quite a bit. We're doing about all we can do right now. We're just playing around trying to get in shape for Sunday.
Okay. And trailing Earnhardt, they picked up a little bit of a push. Here's David Haas.
Along with Tony Gibson, Bill
You pick it up because your gas is going down.
behind Mark Martin. How do you think the Fords are going to finally face this showdown?
Well, I think maybe if we stay together, we might be able to do something. You know, that 3 car is awful strong. It's going to be tough, but right now we're trying to stay in line and break away from that back pack. That way, if it comes down to the end of the race, there'll just be a few cars to contend with.
You didn't make any stops on that last yellow and change tires or gas up. You're all right?
Yeah, if we get another caution, you know, if the leaders come in, we'll definitely come in and get 4 tires. This racetrack is getting older, and it's hard to get a hold of it. So tires are really gumming up and getting slick. So it's going to be critical for tires.
Okay, thanks very much, Tony.
Flat tire on Robert Presley's number 30.
God, ends his chance.
Smart move.
Unless he's got owner points. Don't know.
Look up front here as Jeff Gordon making a move, and Bobby Labonte has passed every
What a look.
on the outside. He's riding the high line once again, and he'll come up behind Earnhardt. Let's see if Gordon don't dip up there. Labonte might help Earnhardt keep.
That's a picture you'd think would have lasted forever, right?
The hot commodity right now, last couple of laps. He has pulled himself into the 3rd position, and he took the high side.
Oh, that's not good.
Going down into turn number 1. 1 car in the wall, bouncing. Started to come up off the ground, got it back, and plows down to a stop, and that is Chad Little.
Aww.
Chad Little's car.
Pretty paint.
Complete spin, and he was doing so well. He had himself up in the qualifying spot.
Yeah, he was
Chad
in
Little
He
into
was in
11th.
position, Ken, so he was in good shape as far as making the Daytona 500, but unfortunately, he'll have to rely on his speed now. He has no owner's points. Let's take a look at what happened. This yellow car.
Oh, they still rely on their speed.
Going along nicely right in
Good
front
to
of
know.
Mr. Rudd. We'll move it forward now, and all at once we see the back end start to come out from under the car, and we'll stop it right there. And
Maybe a
the
portion
tire has come
is from the 125s.
Of course, it sends people
Unless that's for your starting order. I'm really not
I
sure.
remember seeing the tread.
And then there's a certain group that'd be like a last chance on your times.
Cars get by, little continues to
And then your owner's points first.
Fortunately, no one else gets involved.
Mark Rippon's number
Or after.
97, driven by Spokane, Washington's Chad Little, will not qualify for this year's Daytona 500.
It's a bummer.
The Bud 1 airship and its Eye in the Sky camera proud to
Eye
provide
in the
these pictures from
sky.
more than 1,000 feet above the Daytona
I
Speedway.
was looking down on International Speedway Boulevard, which was right behind the stands. It's like right there.
Front, Jim Sauter. Phil Barkdahl is back and running in second here, followed by Ronnie Sanders, John Andretti, and Bobby Labonte. Heavy hitters have been rambling up through the field. Bobby Labonte won for sure. Then Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Musgrave, Elliott, and Rudd rounding out the top 10.
Quite a story with Phil Barkdahl, coming off of a bout with cancer and out here now attempting to qualify for the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon got caught in the pits. Comes out of the top 10 as they get ready on a restart with Todd Bodine.
Yeah, Jeff had to back up a little bit. He made the wrong angle into his pits and had to back up before he could get out of them, and several people beat him.
David Hawes.
Well, John Andretti's lying fourth on the track at the moment, but on his pit stop, he unfortunately overshot his pit, so his car hasn't, in fact, been serviced. So he did not change tires and did not put gas on board. So we'll have to see how those older tires on John's car do in this last 50.
Oh, boy.
3 wide into 3. And still there.
Bobby Labonte runs right up in there between them.
Boy, oh, boy.
That's Jim Sauter on the outside.
Oh, Bobby does not look like he's on a good angle.
Yeah, he's a good smart racer.
Earnhardt back in front, Martin into second. Here comes Musgrave and Elliott, 3 and 4. Morgan Shepherd back to 5th. Didn't take long for them to sort out the Sauter-Sanders combination up in front.
But Bobby Labonte got caught up once again, and he's just heading backwards again. He just tried that high line that's been working so well for him, but the cars they were passing were up there.
These guys were superheroes, man.
10th place now.
Just unreal.
Complete. Earnhardt's in front. Can he win 6 125-mile qualifiers in a row? We're going to find out very shortly, folks. Here he is with Mark Martin. Attached right to the rear bumper, Ted Musgrave.
It's mean, we were together 5 years, and he got sick, and shit happens.
Racing last year was his first full year. Bill Elliott right behind him.
He didn't make it. He died. Whoa. After I left, though.
Till they get them back.
You can't believe John Andretti was up on the wall, and it gets off and keeps going.
And there is no caution out.
That could have been a big wreck.
And look at the back end of Andretti's car. He's
Thank you, Pops. Oh, I appreciate the compliment.
in the Kranipus Haas car. Unbelievable. To see that one again, Ned.
It's getting sunny out.
Still jockey up front. Jeff Gordon looking for a way. Dale Earnhardt, 6 cars now.
Wait a minute.
That little skirmish up off turn 4.
Oh, my.
Around.
I have one cat.
6 cars.
She's actually my little North Wilkesboro cat. Got her from a farm, actually, in Wilkes County, just south of the Speedway.
Todd Bodine.
And I got a big old hound dog. And we've done, like, a lot of crazy cool stuff together.
Now,
Stelly and me. Stelly's an 80-pound hound dog. She was born into my hands.
back in the
I was renting a room on a farm in North Carolina, and I heard crying in the middle of the night.
spot there.
And the landlord's dog was having puppies.
Move on the outside.
I didn't even know she was pregnant because, like, my dog is a plot hound and she's very round. And people think she's pregnant, but she's not. She's fixed.
That's his stop.
But yeah, Stella was born into my hands. We've been together ever since 5 years ago.
Side of Musgrave.
And Todd Bodine goes into 4th.
So I became a crazy dog lady.
Spot of number 75.
Actually, I've always spoke puppy dog pretty good. I've done a lot of things with dogs, and I
Just a couple.
husky sit my sister's 3 huskies. And my Stella helps me. I don't know.
In the car number 22. Looks like he's into the field.
Yeah, he just made a pass on Jeff Burton.
Yep.
Burton was running in the 13th position, so that should, if he can hold on to that, he'll be up there in good shape.
For the lead. Coming down. White flag and 1.
Earnhardt, Gordon.
Earnhardt first. Gordon is...
We see anyone throwing any blocks, any crazy ass blocks here? Let me see.
Bubble car right now is the 21 car of Morgan Shepherd.
They all.
14th, just behind this number 8 is Shepherd, who is on.
I was gonna say, they almost didn't give him enough room, but they're not really blocking. They kind of just
It's found its way.
trying to make their car wide.
Back's trying to get in. Leaders in the back straightaway.
I think blocks at Daytona is extremely dirty. That's just my opinion.
Martin locks up with Jeff Gordon and comes back.
Unless you're on the sim, nobody's gonna get killed. But
Make that car awfully wide coming off the turn 4. I don't think they'll be able to do anything with him. Gordon's going to try it on the outside, but he'll come up short.
Earnhardt to the inside. Gordon to the outside. It's Earnhardt 6 straight in the 125-mile qualifier.
yay!
Dale Earnhardt's done it again.
Always.
Won the Flash.
I got the 500 next. Hopefully it's not black like this
The Great American.
in the shadows. I mean, it's like
Afternoon right here on
a tough video.
And so Dale Earnhardt gets his 25th career win here at Daytona.
Golly.
125-mile qualifier with Gordon, Martin.
I just can't believe how big behind the twin word
Ricky Craven
from there to the ocean is just solid built up now.
And finishing up the qualifying for the 500, Derek Cope was 11th, Randy LaJoy 12th, Ben Hess 13th, Jeff Burton 14th, and Morgan Shepherd 15th. Nad, let's look again at that finish between Earnhardt and Gordon.
Well, Earnhardt dipped down to the inside.
Out behind
Make a move on the
the
outside.
backstretch is Embry-Riddle Flight School.
His 6th in a row, his 8th in the 125s. Let's go to Mike Joy, standing by.
And then beyond that is where my niece learned to play volleyball at a
Taylor Nicole.
AAU or something like that. I think it's called Amateur Athletic Association, AAA maybe. I don't know.
Everything Gatorade does for the NASCAR.
It's a basketball,
Chevrolet done a great job with this Monte Carlo. She just
volleyball training center,
Terry
and they do football combines and stuff.
This car, the paint body guys, everybody
there.
just worked hard and got us down here.
I've been to them with my nieces.
From the start of this Monte Carlo, the first time Neil Bonnet tested it to now, I think this is going to be a good race car. It's proven itself out well.
It was perfect for qualifying Saturday, and it was really strong today. But tell me, what differentiates Thursdays from Sundays around here?
Well, Thursdays is a little more race than just going for it type thing like the Busch Clash or qualifying, but this is more like the 500. I feel like we can race like we were all day long. We were comfortable. We got the car on balance, and we worked hard to do that. We weren't really comfortable right up to yesterday. We even changed engines, put the Busch Clash motor in this car, and that ran good all day. So it's just a combination of things you got to keep working on, Mike, and then you come down to the 500. You got a lot of work to do. We got 2 more days. We got to tune another engine and get this car ready for the 500 and do this 500 miles. We'll be happy.
Well, thanks, Mike.
Peek around in the background. If it weren't so dark, I could see if I was in anything there.
Winner hands down in this car 37.
Because I know I was there in those garages
All of this traffic
somewhere.
happened to Indianapolis, Indiana's Andretti.
Okay, here's Andretti in the white car on the outside. Here's Ricky Craven coming up on the inside. Now we'll move it forward a little bit, and we'll see Craven come up. We'll stop it right there.
jeez.
And that's where Craven gets it.
Ricky.
Now we'll move it on, and we'll see them what happens as a result.
Dirty. What are you trying to do? You got a whole track there.
The wall comes back down. Morgan Shepherd back behind me comes back to the wall again. And Bobby Labonte in the green car, both of them do a great job of getting slowed down.
Looks like Moon Car.
Ready, but everybody else gets by on the inside. That could have been a nasty wreck.
Oy.
Double save by John Andretti in the Gatorade 125s. Let's go down to David Hobbs.
Well, I'm with John Andretti, driver of the 37 car. You had one of the hairiest moments that Ken Squire's ever seen coming off turn 4. Tell us about it.
Well, it was a little unfortunate. We were coming to the end of the race, and the guy got in the backside of me really hard and sent me into the wall, and I tried staying with it, and I got into it even harder, I think, then, and got the right front tire and a couple other things, and we were out of the race. It's real unfortunate for Kmart and Little Caesars, but it looks like we're in the 500, so that's the important thing. We just don't have the car we want, really, right now.
Well, he's starting 38th on Sunday. Good luck, John Andretti, and back to you, Ken.
There we go. That's where I need to be, at the beach.
For the 1995.
Not in the thunder, though. It's thundering today.
CBS Sports Special.
Are they going to interview more people?
Is sponsored by
A little bit more.
Quencher, the official sports beverage of NASCAR. The totally
one more minute or so worth.
World car for the 21st century. And by Beach with Age Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you.
All is in readiness for the 37th annual Daytona 500.
37th annual is coming up next.
42 strong. And we have something a little different here.
Ooh, look at that sky. That's what it looks like today.
The new CBS Flying Cam. We hope to bring you a new angle on pit road activity and some other highlights from the race like you've never seen it before. Well, when you get down to the beginning of the 500, it's all over. All that talk, all these days, weeks, months of preparation come down.
That's what I'm saying.
Start your engines, and we're ready to go racing. And that's what 42 drivers are really set to get on with tomorrow. The twin 125s showed us some things, but we saw something today in the 300-mile Grand National race. This Chad Little car, number 23, came from 42nd starting position to win it.
Up. Here's the Daytona 500.
Like any epic struggle, it's had its triumphs.
1995. Now, I think I watched this from home because we didn't qualify, which makes sense.
Another chapter will be written. Looking to become only the third man to defend a 500 victories.
But I did get to go like the 2 weeks prior when they had testing. I went with Dad to time all the cars. We didn't have what you have like
last 2 years.
Race
Daytona
monitor. You don't have that back then.
Standing in the way of everyone.
You had
the Intimidator.
Someone like me standing on top of the hauler the whole time and just writing down everybody's times. And I mean, you don't just randomly write them down. You got to watch when they come out and they start doing their runs and get them on their optimal lap, every driver, which is important. To get them at the precise time rather than get everybody, you know.
To be reckoned with.
But that's something you just learn from being around racing.
From glory.
A lot of big guys. To give a time frame, they lost Kowicki and Davey in 93 and 94 was kind of a transition with a lot of safety innovations. 95. Since it's on that break, let me see. This is a fun one. This is La Valley, North Carolina. Let me see if I can. I'll just hit play all. I think they're just like couple-minute clips. Let me see what we got. Oh, this is the Our State magazine. It's about the town.
Saddles, bridles, everything.
That was about the town we lived in. That wasn't mine. I knew all those people that, like the Barkers. He's since passed, but this is the type of stuff, the vibe.
Be able to get a new car with your tax refund, but you can make your car feel like it's brand new. All it needs is a great paint job. Come in.
That's not me, but this is one of my friends, and this is on Jack, the horse that I had been taking care of. They're in the commercial. This is one of my friends riding Jack. It was just a few little clips that I did. They're like 10-second clips. They're really nothing. I apologize for the flags. It's kind of like I said, it's a movie set. I didn't say it was a movie set, but it is a movie set, and there's a lot of North Carolina and not cool flags like that one, so I apologize. But like I said, it's a movie set that we lived at. And there's my Stella, and she just loved the horses. This was her life. She greeted all the dogs.
37F or country1037fm.com. Free money from Carrie's Cash and Carolina's New Country.
That was her life.
Don't miss your chance to win.
She just loved being in the valley.
Chris Stapleton coming to town and
playing with the horses. Oh yeah, we had a baby squirrel we saved and trained it, and it grew and became real, and it would come for peanuts, but eventually it wouldn't take them from us no more.
I think it's great.
Eventually they wouldn't take it, but anyway, that was our squirrel.
After you call the race,
And this is me
you can take home the videotape.
driving this. Nope, I take it back. This is a buggy ride. This is Susan's buggy ride.
Today's adventure brings me
And that's like the entrance to the road that leads to Love Valley. It's cowboy capital of the world.
You can sit down and listen.
This is just somebody else's video.
This week
I just skipped ahead.
time in NASCAR racing.
And that's going to do
But this is my car.
from Love
NASCAR
Valley.
is right across the track. Right
Driving. This is what the
there's Jeff Purvis.
fields like, coming out to the main road.
Roll bars.
Corner of
That was somebody else's video as well. But I have done some like that. It looked like mine to begin with.
established in 1954.
It's where I lived, out that road. Out that road.
Listen.
And this was one of our bars. I just do that as a placeholder. We met a lot of bands. This guy here was my sweetheart. He passed away last year. He had a voice.
Keep it up on the high side off the racetrack.
That's Papa Dunn. He's gone.
Down in the Brett Bodine pit. We'll update you on that in a moment.
This is just what we would do. These are my friends Linda's and Linda's.
Through the field. And by the way, number 12, Derek Cope is back on the track. He is now running
I love this lady.
16 laps down in the
She took me in when I needed to get out of my house where my boyfriend was.
60 laps complete.
She was my sweetie.
Dave Marcus.
Linda and Pete.
Well, he won the leader, but he came in and he stayed out there to get 5 bonus points, so he has won that now. So
You just go there and you rent a place and you live there. I could take this trailer and drive it there tomorrow and rent a place, but my family is here. Other than I just loved it there. 109 people in that town.
Mike Wallace, what happened there?
The one in the purple, her husband passed away. She is, last I knew, she was dating my ex-boyfriend's brother.
I was trying to get underneath Purvis.
But they could have broke up, I don't know.
And I thought I had
But the lady that's singing is my friend Pete's
gathered Jeff up in the thing at the same time on his behalf. And
wife.
unfortunate, Holly
And Pete came down actually to Florida recently. They're kind of like my parents away from home.
And of course, a sidebar to
But we had fun. Like I said, it's a movie set that we lived in. We lived in a tourist town.
the Goodyear people and NASCAR officials
And we entertained
taking those new tires somewhere.
the visitors.
This shows how short these tires are.
And this is one of the guys that lived there too.
But the auction goes on.
Um,
Several
or maybe visited.
over anyone that falls.
I've seen him a gazillion times. I don't know him though.
And this part of pit road took on 4 tires and a full load of gasoline, 22 gallons. The notable exceptions,
Let me see.
and Mark Martin, they had both made
Oh, next one.
stops. And so to try to get better track position on the restart, they got gas only.
Yeah, that was his stuff. I put some stuff from other people's stuff just to tell about the town.
Tires also.
Love Valley.
Thanks, Mike. Just about down for a start.
That's where we lived.
Valley is a real live cowboy town located in North Carolina, and you'll never guess the one rule that they have.
Pits for fuel only.
That's right.
Had some tires
No
to put on
cars
back on
allowed.
lap 44. How
Yep,
about
yep.
that?
I lived in that house actually. I rented an apartment downstairs, this house that you can see just barely edge, that house. I lived in the downstairs apartment.
Howdy, partner, and welcome. I'm in Love Valley, North Carolina, a real-life cowboy town.
I got confused.
Real-life cowboy Halloween parade. Yeehaw!
Oh yeah, the Halloween parade, we did that too. We'd all dress up and
It takes a while to get to the car.
do stuff like that.
With the restrictor blade engines, they're required to run here.
I lived opposite across the street. In the apartment downstairs in the back. In a house. Let me see, is this somebody else's? Yeah, these are some bands. We had the Allman Brothers there.
Like I said, they're about the same.
We had Marcia Tucker. Oh, that's the old Love Fest. It was after Woodstock. They had a big Love Fest there.
Wind with them, and the way they
A
go
Love In, or whatever they call it.
front forward coming by.
I'm just clipping through till I get my own videos.
Chevy.
I think.
WAME, and look who.
I'm gonna raid out to J-Bo. Golly, let me see if I can. I hate this new raid stuff. Where? Search. Come on, am I typing it right? I can't even tell. There we go. Thank you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. We're gonna go, I think, next Rockingham. See ya soon. Thank you for hanging out. I know I jumped around with a little bit of stuff, but I'll do some more Who is Miss T someday. There we go. Do 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 do. Bye guys. Peace out.